Hello students, welcome to online classes of Shemstar Global School. This is Nabila Fatima, your social science teacher, and I am here to do a revision of the first chapter of history, that is when, where and how. You know that history is divided into three parts, that is ancient history, medieval history and modern history. Each of these periods cover many centuries. In class 6th, we learned about the ancient period. In class 7th, we will study about India in the medieval period. In this, we will cover the period from 700 CE to 1800 CE, that is, a period of 1100 years. History of the years between 700 CE to 1800 CE had observed variety of social and political development. Example, Persian wheel in irrigation was introduced and spinning wheel in weaving. The medieval period is broadly divided into two parts, early medieval period and later medieval period. Let's study about the early medieval period. The history of the early medieval period is centered on the past struggle among the regional kingdoms of both North and South India. The prominent kingdoms among these were the Rajputs, Palas, Pratiharas, Rashtrakutas and the Cholas. Later medieval period. In the later medieval period, there were a number of invasions by the Muslim conquerors from Central Asia. Among the invaders were the Turks, Afghans and the Mughal rulers. The defeat of Rajputs at the hands of Muhammad Ghori brought India under the rule of slave dynasty. After the fall of slave dynasty, the Khilji, the Tughlaqs and the Lodhis came to the power. The combined power of these dynasties is known as the Delhi Sultanate. But the luster of the Sultanate soon faded away when Babur founded the Mughal Empire. His grandson Akbar extended his empire with the whole of North India and the parts of South India. He was followed by Jahangir, Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb. The Mughal Empire declined after the death of Aurangzeb. The successors of Aurangzeb were weak and incompetent rulers. Thus, regional kingdoms were established at this time. Changing names of the land. Unlike other countries, India has been known by different names during different periods of history. First is Aryavarta, the early Sanskrit text during the Vedic period called the tracts of land between the Vindhyas and the Himalayas as Aryavarta or the land of Aryans, because in the beginning Aryans were first who came to this country. During the era of Puranas, subcontinent was called Bharatvarsham. The word Hindu is generally accepted as having originally been Persian word for someone who lived around or beyond the river Indus, which was called Sindhu in Sanskrit. In Persian and Arabic, the term Hind denotes the Indian subcontinent. So, the Persian accounts refer this country as Hind or Hindustan. In Sanskrit literature, the country is called Bharat. In the Indian constitution, both India and Bharat were used to describe our country. Now, let's study about sources of history. Historical sources are the foundation to understand a particular era back in time. They help us to gain knowledge about important events, inventions, cultures, civilization, and many other aspects about society. They serve as evidence in construction of history. They still rely on coins, inscriptions, architecture, and textual records for information. Sources of history are of two types: literary sources and archaeological sources. Number one is literary sources. Literary sources are the written records of the medieval period. These include chronicles of the court historians, biographies, autobiographies, regional literature, religious literature, etc. The first type of literary sources is court chronicles. A chronicle is a record of the rule of the kings and the life at the court. Most kings had court people who wrote in detail about what happened during their reign. For example, Raja Tarangini by Kalhana and Tarikh-e-Firoz Shahi by Ziauddin Barani. Next is memoirs and autobiographies. Memoirs and autobiographies written by the rulers themselves are the important source of information of this period. For example, Babur's autobiography, the Baburnama, and Jahangir's autobiography, Jahangirnama, give us an idea about their rule. Next is accounts of foreign travelers. Foreign literature refers to the writings of foreign visitors, explorers, and scholars. These travelers sometimes also visited the courts of the kings. They have left behind the detailed accounts of their experiences in India. Historians rely on the writings of the foreign travelers for an unfair and unbiased account of the king's reign. Some examples of foreign literature are Megasthenes Indica and Hyun Sang Siyuki. Regional literature. This period saw a fusion of literature in regional languages such as Tamil, Telugu, Punjabi, Oriya, Assamese, and Maithili. Religious literature. During this period, Bhakti and Sufi movements became popular. The Bhakti and the Sufi saints wrote a lot of poetry which reflects the times they lived in. Even the Ramayana and the Mahabharata were translated into regional languages during this period. Religious literature is also a source for reconstructing our past. So, students, this is your today's assignment. This assignment contains 3 long answers of this chapter only, that is when, where and how. This you have to do it in your fair copy and send me in the form of PDF in Google Classroom. This is question number 1. Till here is question number 1. Then question number 2. Till here is question number 2. Question number 3. And till here is question number 3. Pause the video, write the answers carefully in your fair copy.